The ability to hover and apply a different effect when you hover over it pops up in numerous places within Brizy. You have seen hover before, you've used it before, and that is where you have your cursor and you move it somewhere over a page. There's something that changes. You see, for example, here this button, read more. As I take the cursor and I hover over it, it changes to purple. That's what we mean by hover, and there's many kinds of usage cases that can go into hover effect. We won't go into all of them. In fact, we're only going to go into one of them. I rather want to show you what to look out for when you're looking for hover, because it's a little bit hidden and easily overlooked. Let's go to the image that we had created for the parallax full height background and select up here our settings, and then we go to an overlay. Let's say overlay, or I think we can even do it with the image. Yes, Brizy allows us to do it with the image. And the reason how I know that there is a hover effect that we can apply here is because I can see it. And that is done with this little label that sticks out here. You have the one at the top, and you will see that says normal, or that's what we often refer to as default. And then under it is the hover state. What happens is the moment I select hover, anything that can change in the hover state will appear now here in the dialog box. So you can see the only thing from the original where we have options to putting a movie in the background or even putting a map, changing the size, changing the parallax. Once we go into hover mode, the only thing we have now that we can change for hover is the image. So I'll delete the image. Let's bring in another one, and I'll choose this image. I hope it's big enough. I think it should be fine. And now we have another image. It's not fine, it's too small, so that's why we have all this pixelation occurring there. It's a good example though. If you select normal again, you will see it goes back to the normal image. So let's go test it on the front end. And the reason it's changing now like that is because I'm hovering over it with my cursor even inside the builder. Update, Control Command S. Preview. Scroll down to the image over here, hover over it, and you see it changes. The moment you hover over it, we get the second image. And that is where you access the hover state, or where you will notice hover states. For example, if I go to overlay, you will also see that we have a hover state here. Not everything can be changed in hover, actually only a few things, but be aware of that, like things like images, buttons, columns, backgrounds, and overlays and colors. These often have hover states that you can apply.